right, so welcome everyone. My name is Jacqueline Morosco, and today we're going to do kind of an overall practice, okay? So what I want you to start doing, you might have your hands on your body, like one hand on your chest, one hand below your belly button, or you can just have your hands in your lap. I want you to breathe nice and fully. So nice big inhale, nice big exhale. And I call this full body breathing because what we want is to be able to breathe with our whole body, right? And, the core was mentioned when we talked about things we were going to work on today. And one of the best things that we can do for our core is breathe fully, right? Because you want to engage that pelvic floor at the bottom of the core, diaphragm at the top, and all those muscles connecting those two. Kind of simplified, but that's what's happening when we breathe fully. So when we just breathe up in our chest, we're not engaging all of the and like massaging and literally working those muscles, right? So nice big breath, but not forcing it. And I want you to take a moment to notice how you're feeling and then thinking about how you want to feel when we're done with our practice today, right? And then once you set your intention, we're doing it in our head, right? You can bring your hands to your heart, kind of sealing your intention at your heart, saying, this is my heart's desire that I want to feel like that. Bowing the head to the heart to the earth. And then we'll get started. And of course, if you have another ritual that you do to begin the practice, that is absolutely appropriate too. So we're going to start with 2 tennis balls. And I want you to bend your knees and take your feet flat on the ground. We're going to take those tennis balls. So your sits bones right at the bottom of your pelvis, they're going to stay on the floor, and you're going to push the tennis balls in. So you're not sitting like with the bone on the tennis ball. Okay? And then you're going to work your body close to the tennis ball, as close as is comfortable. And I'm going to use my elbows as the example of the sits bones. You're going to roll over, not all the way, but just kind of into the tennis ball. And you might be wondering what this would do, but this kind of loosens up, like softens the connectors between the hamstrings and the pelvis. And I know, too much information, but sometimes it's nice to picture what's happening, right? Now you might see me, I'm kind of moving side to side and front to back at the same time. If it's really tender, move the tennis balls out a little bit or even get rid of them. And if you don't have any tennis balls, you can just massage. Yep, stick your hands down there. Okay, now you're going to take those tennis balls and we're going to move them just, like 2 centimeters out from where they were and do the same thing. So not very far, right? And you're going to keep breathing. Long, smooth breaths. And when you've had enough with that, you're going to take them, and again, about 2 centimeters out to the sides. And here you might even find yourself wanting to move over to the side and bring that tennis ball into your hip or the glute, depending on the placement of where you have them. And again, if it's too tender, because I'm thinking some of you may have never done this with tennis balls before. If it's too tender, then just get rid of it. Okay, now so now I'm on the sides, you're wherever you are, right? Now we're gonna start to move to the back. So we're at the back of the pelvis. And again, you're not like lifting your sits bones up and sitting on the tennis ball. You're pushing the tennis ball in towards your sits bone. And you're going to move back and do the same thing. So what we're doing is we're working the tennis balls around the base of our pelvis, right? And you're breathing. And you're letting go of tension instead of letting this build up your tension, right? Imagine that tension releasing as you're making your way around. Now, you might want to stay in one of these places. I'm going to, again, move about 2 more centimeters towards the back, because the idea is to make almost a complete circle or oval. You're still breathing and moving. And so now we're not, working on those connectors to the hamstrings anymore. Now we're closer to the low back, right? So low back being a tender area for some of us, just being really aware of what's happening. And one more time, we're going to move those tennis balls in. How's it feeling?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Nobody's crying. That's a good sign. At least the people that I can see. Okay. Now, when you feel complete, and you might want to continue on that a little bit more, what we're going to do is you're going to use your fingers now, and we're going to go, and you actually could use the tennis balls here too. I want you to start at the tips of the toes, and you're going to sweep your hands from the tips of the toes through the feet, around the ankles, up the low leg, and you're kind of using your fingertips, your nails. We're stimulating from the tips of the toes up to the top of the hip. And we're not going to stay here a long time, do what feels good. And we're going to move to the second side. Same thing, tips of the toes, around the ankles, up the lower leg, all the different sides, right? So the front, back sides, around the knee, back of the thigh, front of the thighs, sides. All right. And I'm not rushing you, so you take as much time as you need. When you feel complete with the legs, we're going to move on to the hands. And so you're going to take your tennis balls, you're in a comfortable seat, however that is, and you're going to add some pressure and roll through your hands. You're going to keep breathing. And just notice which parts of your hands are tender as you're rolling. So I always like to pay attention to the hands and the feet because they do so much work for us and we don't necessarily give them a whole lot of attention. Now, when you're done rolling, you're going to take the tennis balls and put them on the meaty part of your thumb, and you're going to gently squeeze. So we're not really trying to smush the tennis ball. What we're trying to do is add some pressure into that area. You're going to keep breathing. So as it's like an isometric movement, right? You're squeezing in and you continue to breathe, right? Notice if you're holding your breath. And keep breathing. And then we're going to let it go. And if there's any other spot that you want to do on your hands, you're going to do that. And then when we're done, you're going to run your hand, one hand up the other arm from the fingertips up to the shoulder. And you might even wonder what could be happening when you do this, right? But just notice how it feels. You're like, this isn't yoga. Sure it is. Okay. Now, when you're done with that, you're going to roll through your wrists, roll through your fingers, maybe little like flicks with your fingertips. My ring makes an interesting sound when I do that. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to take a comfortable seat. And for some of you, it might mean sitting up on that rolled up mat or a block. If you're at home, maybe a blanket. We're going to work with the shoulders for a moment. So inhale, you're going to lift those shoulders up towards your ears, and exhale, slide them down the back. So a couple of times, inhaling, shoulders up, exhale, rolling them down the back body. And what I want you to feel, notice as you go back what you feel in the chest and the back body. We're trying to get those shoulder blades to move towards one another as we roll back. And you're still breathing. All right, now, eventually we're gonna pause, and you're gonna take your right arm forward, lift it up towards the sky, bend the elbow and take your hand wherever it comes to on the back body, and the other hand is gonna come onto that elbow, but I don't want you to force it, right? So it might be that you're adding a little bit of pressure, it might just be your hand is there. If it's too much, take the hand away and just let the arm be where it wants to be. Now, keeping your butt on the floor, So I'm saying that because as we move to the side, it's going to want to lift up. So you're going to press your butt into the floor and you're going to lean over to the left. So don't let that bottom come up off the ground. And for some of us, this is really tight because of we're breathing up here because of what's happening on our planet. And we want to open up space. So long, smooth breaths, no forcing, keep breathing, relax your head. I'm seeing some tension in those necks as we're doing this. We're gonna inhale up and then you're gonna switch hands. So take that hand that was on the back of your head and move it to the other elbow. Again, if appropriate for you. And we stay here for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, keeping your butt on the floor, leaning over to the right. You're all looking great. Those that I can see. Some people are hidden. Okay, keep breathing. And just notice, like, as I'm staying here, I can feel little movements in my vertebrae, right, in my spine as I'm staying there. So just kind of notice what happens. On an inhale, we're going to come up. You're going to release your arms. All right, now you might, let's take the left hand onto the ground. We're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky. Inhale up. And exhale as you reach over. And then you're going to turn that palm up and press like you're trying to lift the ceiling. Turn it back down, come on up. Second side. Inhale, reach over, turn the palm up and press, and keep breathing. And just become aware if you're holding your breath, then you just take a nice deep breath, turn that hand down, inhale up. All right, now let's come up to standing. So come on up, we're gonna use the tennis balls. Actually, just one for now. So find your tennis ball and you're gonna roll on your feet. Right there. You're welcome. Nice to see you. Dun, dun, dun. So as you're rolling on your feet, notice where you feel sensation, right? And try to do your whole foot. Don't go anywhere. And if you decide that you like this, feel free to take tennis balls with you. Okay, and then we're gonna switch feet if you haven't done so yet. And you're still breathing. All right, now there's a little spot I have to work on before I can continue because it was pointed out to me while I was doing this. And that might happen to you sometimes. You're like, oh, there's this spot I didn't know about, and then you need to work it through before you can move on, and that's what's happening. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, so you're gonna keep those tennis balls towards the top of your mat because we might use them in just a moment. And so you're gonna come towards the front of your mat and take a moment to connect with your breath the same way that we did when we were seated. And then you're gonna bring your hands onto your thighs. Inhale, standing up. Exhale, you're gonna slide down. And and inhale back up. And exhale, slide down. And feel free to bend the knees if that's appropriate for your body, right? Because we're still warming up. Inhale is up. Exhale is sliding down. And you're noticing how you feel as you move. Nice. Now, next time that you come up, we're going to take the left hand and place it on your back body. So I have my fingers pointing down. So just kind of see if your body does that, right? That might be an awkward movement for you. And some of you may want to use a wall. So you can picture I have a wall in front of me, right? So the inhale is going to be arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, you're going to come forward, turn your head away from the arm, and come halfway down. You might bend your knees. Inhale up. head comes back to center, same side. Exhale, head turns. So the option, if you're using the wall, would be that as you come down, you place your hand on the wall. So it's taking some of the pressure off the back. So if your back is hurting at all, make your way to a wall. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time. And the arm is coming straight out ahead of you. It's not going towards the floor. So when you come up, this next time, we're going to place that right hand on your back body, left arm up. Inhale up, exhale, halfway down, head turns away. Inhale up, head is forward, exhale, halfway down. Arm moving straight ahead instead of towards the ground. And you're still breathing. And you might be saying, these are interesting movements. I'm getting hot and it looks like we're not even barely moving. Okay, last one. Nice. So when you come up this time, we're going to take both hands and place them on the back body. So my fingers are pointing towards the ground. And now I want you to reach your elbows towards one another. And your chest might press forward a little bit. That would be okay. Right? Keep breathing. All right. Now, you're going to relax those elbows for just a moment. And then we're going to reach them towards one another. Now, unless it causes you discomfort, you're going to keep those elbows pointing towards one another. Inhale, body up. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And you're pressing those hands into that low back, right? Keep saying right today. Last time, we're going to inhale up. Exhale, halfway down. Now we're going to stay halfway down. You're going to engage those lower abdominals. We're going to release the hands from the back, stretch them forward. So you're reaching towards that space in front of you, vision towards the ground. Inhale up, exhale towards the ground. Now you're going to take your hands onto your legs. Inhale is halfway up, exhale in towards your legs. Keep your hands on your legs, right? So there's that connection neurologically with your body as you're sliding up and down. Inhale, body halfway up. Exhale in towards your legs. All right, last one, and we're going to inhale all the way up. All right, so this next one, I'm going to give you two options. There's always many more, but so option one is to interlace your fingers, turn your palms down, and reach your hands towards the sky. Okay, if that causes any discomfort, you're going to hold on to your strap, and if it's a long one, you'll double it up. You could also use a belt or a sock or even a shirt here for those of you at home. Okay, so other way would be to hold the strap about shoulder distance and pull. Okay, so those are your two options. You decide. I'm going to do the interlaced finger ones. Okay, so we start with our hands down towards our body. Inhale, you're going to take those arms up towards the sky. Your vision is staying forward. You're not looking up towards the sky, right? Oops, realize you can't even see my face. Where do I go so everybody can see me? Okay, inhale up, exhale into your little chair. Okay, inhale is up, exhale into a little chair. Let your hips release and engage those lower abdominal muscles. Yes, that core that we're all talking about. Two more. Inhale up, exhale down. Beautiful. Now, this next time, you're going to come on up, you're going to release your hands, and we're going to step back. So you're going to, towards the front of your mat, your feet are hip width apart, right? And I see some of you have socks on. It's totally okay, but if you slide, if you feel like you're sliding, take them off, okay? Because what we're going to do, you're going to keep your left foot where it is, and you're going to take a nice big step back with the right foot. So now we're in a high lunge, okay? and your front knee is over the ankle. So if your knee comes over your foot, you need a longer stance. All right, looking good. So inhale is going to be knee bent, elbows bent, pressing back. Exhale, you're going to reach forward, straighten the leg. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, knee and elbow bends. Exhale, leg straightens, arms extend. And if you're a little wobbly, take your feet a little bit wider apart widthwise. That will help. And the back leg, for the most part, stays the same. You're bending the front leg. All right. Last one. We're going to end with our inhale and hold this position. Now, you're going to exhale, take your hands to the ground. This way, I ask you to have your tennis balls close by. We're going to place it underneath the heel. And then you're going to try to press down. So I have my left foot forward, right? The toes and the padded part of the foot are on the ground. The tennis ball's under the heel. I'm trying to smush it with my weight. And you want to weight down the heel and the toe evenly. And then you're going to explore bringing those hands up onto the thigh. And you want a little bit of yellow sticking out behind your heel, so you're not on your arches. Now, if that's unsafe for you, you're going to get rid of the tennis ball. Okay? Inhale, knee bent, elbows bent. Exhale, straighten. And you have to keep weighting that foot. W-E-I-G-H-T, weighting. Woo! We'll only do this a couple times. But you probably notice, next exhale, let's take the hands to the ground, take out your tennis ball. Woo! Step that back foot forward. Inhale, slide on up. And just take a breath or two here. Roll through your shoulders. You probably notice when we do that, that it makes you use your body differently. All right. Ready for the second side? They're like, no, I'm gonna leave lopsided. Okay, feet hip width apart. And remember, so what I want you to do is with that left foot this time, draw a line straight back. So you don't want to cross over or even keep it in a line with that front foot. Come straight back. High lunge. No tennis ball yet. Okay, elbows bent, knee bent. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the leg, reach the arm forward. I'm actually like sweating a little bit. Moving with your breath. After our next inhale, we're going to exhale, hands to the ground. Find your tennis ball. Everybody's favorite part. And think about those 4 points of the foot, right? Base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, each side of the heel, pressing towards the ground. If you don't press into that ball, it's going to be really hard to find your balance. Hands up onto the thigh. Inhale, elbows bent, knee bent. Move at your own pace. Exhale, inhale. And you need to focus, right? You can't like think about what you have to do later because you have to pay attention to what you're doing. All right, last one. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Take out that tennis ball. Step that back foot forward. Take your hands onto your legs. Inhale, slide up. Roll through those shoulders, move through your feet. How's everybody doing? Good? All right. So from here, and we've done this a lot lately, and you might come to a wall, or you might stay in the center of the room. Yeah, and you can use the bar in the back of the room. So what I want you to do is you're going to take the weight onto the right foot. Oh, I can't be seen. I can use this. All right, so you're going to have your weight on your right foot and hold the left knee, right? That's step one. Step two is you're gonna slide the hand down to the ankle and pull your knee back so that that knee is in line with your standing leg. Body stays upright, and then you're just gonna move the knee front to back, not out to the side, but front to back. Now, next time the knee goes back, you're going to flex the foot if possible, hold on to your ankle, make space between the heel and the buttock, and start to bring your chest forward. But don't just keep your heel towards your butt and start to bend forward. Space first between the heel and the buttock. If that maintains, then you can bring your heart forward. Keep breathing. On an inhale, come forward, bring that knee up. We're going to hold the inside of the knee with the same side hand. Open your knee out to the side. Keep breathing. Knee forward, foot comes down to the ground. Roll through those shoulders. We're going to interlace those fingers, turn your palms down, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale is up. Exhale into your little chair. And do that 3 times. Inhale up, exhale down. This is our coming back to the center. After your 3rd time, you're going to release your hands. And if you're at the wall, you'll flip yourself around. And again, so weight on the left foot. At first, the right knee comes forward, foot is flexed. You're breathing, finding your balance, find a non-moving spot to look at. Second step, slide the hand to the ankle and bring that heel towards your buttock, knee towards the standing leg, and start to move that knee front to back. Keep breathing. Now, when the knee comes back next time, you're going to leave it there and start to make space between the heel and the buttock. And then possibly start to bring your heart towards the ground, if you can maintain that space between the heel and the buttock. And if you're in the middle of the room, you might extend your left arm out. And then you're going to inhale, come on up. Slide that knee forward, flex the foot. Same side hand on the inside of the knee. Open the knee out to the side. Still breathing. Inhale back to the center. Foot comes down to the ground. One more time, interlace those fingers, turn your palms out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into your little chair 3 times. And then after your 3rd time, come on up, release those hands, and you're going to find your tennis ball one more time. So you started something on that. All right. So before we do this next part, I just want you to roll, and let's say roll on your right foot. And then we're going to end, stop rolling our foot, and you're going to take the tennis ball under that right heel and smush it, right? So now, base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, both sides of the heel on the tennis ball. Weight is going to shift into the right, come up onto the left toes, turn that knee out to the side, the left knee. Slide that heel into your ankle, hands at the heart center. Breathe and focus, feel your weight and root down through the right foot. And at your own pace, if possible, you're going to start to slide that foot up your lower leg. And we want to be above or below the knee. And you could reach down and put the foot on the inside of the thigh, but it's a little bit harder to do when we're standing on the tennis ball. Now, if appropriate for you, you might reach those arms up towards the sky, or you might keep them at your heart center. Keep breathing. Vision forward on a non-moving spot on the ground. On an exhale, hands come back to the heart center, knee comes forward, Slide that foot down to the ground. Step off of the tennis ball and we're gonna roll through the left foot. That was pretty awesome. Did it feel good? Everybody looked good, yeah. All right, so we're rolling the second foot, and try not to judge or think about your second side. Try to pretend like it's the first side, beginner's mind. All right, so when you're done rolling on the left foot, you're going to, again, take the tennis ball under the heel, a little bit of yellow sticking out behind your heel, all 4 points of the foot, base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, both sides of the heel. Shift your weight into the left foot, come up onto the right toes, and start to pivot through that leg. And then we're gonna slide that ankle in, hands at your heart center. Feel your weight in the left foot, root down through that foot. And when, if you're ready, you're gonna slide your right foot up. Breathe in, focus, and notice you might be different side to side, right? And then if appropriate for you, you might extend those arms up towards the sky. Keep breathing. When you're ready on an exhale, hands back to the heart center, knee forward, foot comes down. Now find your second tennis ball. And obviously, if you're at home and you don't have any tennis balls, you can just do everything that we're doing without the tennis ball, right? So now I want you to take your tennis balls about hip distance apart, and we're going to place the heels on both tennis balls. So watch your balance as you're coming up onto the tennis balls. All 4 points of the feet, base of the big toe, base of the pinky toe, both sides of the heels. This time we're going to feel your arms at the sides of your body, reach down through your fingertips. The inhale, you're going to take those arms up in line with your ears. Exhale, sit down a little bit more deeply into your chair. Inhale up, exhale, sit down. Make sure there's no discomfort, ankles, knees, hips, low back, shoulders, moving with your breath. Inhale is up. Exhale is down. Now, next time you come down, we're going to hold the position. Keep breathing, okay? Hands to the heart center. We're going to add a twist. I'm going to give you a couple options. So one would be to release your hands, take them to one thigh, and turn your body that way. It's a longer twist in your body. Or you can keep your hands at your heart center and take your elbow to the outside of the knee. You do what's appropriate for you. Keep breathing. On an inhale, you're going to come through the center, reach up towards the sky, straighten your legs, vision space forward, exhale down, hands to the heart center. And again, second side, so either hands on the thigh or hands at your heart center, elbow to the outside of the knee. Keep breathing. Inhale, center, rise up. We're going to do each side one more time. Exhale down. Twist, keep breathing. On an inhale, back through the center, up. Notice we come center before we rise up. Exhale down. Last time, second side. Keep breathing. On an inhale, center, rise up. This time on your exhale, hands come to the thighs, and come into your forward bend. Now, we're going to hold on to the elbows. Unless that's unsafe, you might have a bend in your knees. Relax your head and your shoulders. And gently move the body side to side. See if you can let your arms be heavy, your head be heavy, your shoulders heavy. Really getting a nice stretch in the back body. Coming through the center, we are going to release the hands, take them onto the legs, inhale, slide up. Sip off your tennis balls. Yay! You're all doing great. Now from here, we're going to make our way down to the ground into a squat. And so you decide what works best for you. Some of you might take your rolled mat and put it under your heels. Some of you might have a block under your butt. You're gonna come into some level of a squat. I'll model the block. Okay. And you want to be so that if you come down onto the block, you want to do it slowly, be very aware. Okay? You want your feet to be weighted evenly, heel to toe. So notice if all your weight is in your toes and there's none in your heels. Have your feet wide enough apart that it's comfortable for you. Some of you will be able to keep your feet parallel, not happening in my world. Okay, hands either at your forehead or your heart center inside your knees. Long, smooth breaths. After your next exhale, you're going to bring the hands to the ground. And some of you might like a folded blanket or mat underneath your knees. We're going to come to a kneeling position. And then you might have blocks on either side of you. You'll get it in a minute. Okay. So the first side, we're going to take the right leg and stretch it out to the side. And your body is upright. Okay. And at first, before we do any other movement, notice what's happening in the outside of your hip, right? You might even massage it, stick the heel of your hand in it. Because for some of us, that's tender. So you want your body, you're not sitting on your heel. Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that not work?
No, that works.
Okay.
I was just confused for a hot minute.
Okay. All right, so now your block is going to be out to the side, maybe a foot or so, okay? Inhale your arms out to the side. So inhale is up, exhale, hand comes onto the block or the floor and reach that right arm overhead. Inhale up, exhale to the straight leg. Inhale up, and you can, change the height of your blocks or not use blocks. And you're just moving with your breath. No rush, noticing what happens in your side bodies as you move. Find a comfortable place for your head. Continue to breathe. Now, next time you come over to the left side, we're going to stay there for a moment. Reach that right arm overhead, and you're going to turn that palm up like we did earlier and press. If it's okay with your neck, you're going to look towards that hand. If it's not okay with your neck, you're not going to do that. Okay, turn your hand back down. You're still breathing. On an inhale, come on up. Exhale to the straight leg. And again, reach that, we're staying here, right? Reach that left arm over, and you're going to turn your palm up and press. And again, if it feels comfortable, look towards the hand. If not, keep your head forward. Keep breathing. Hand comes down. Inhale, come on up. We're going to slide in that leg. How we doing? People are still going to talk to me after this? All right, so we're going to stretch out that left leg. And remember, we're not going to rush into it, right? You're going to take your left hand and massage that outside of the hip. So this is a part of the body that not all of us use often. So for some of us, it gets a little bit wonky when we do things like this, which is why we need to do this. All right, so body upright, arms extended. Inhale up here, exhale to the right, inhale up, exhale to the left. Moving with your breath, no rush. Noticing what you feel as you move. Now this next time that we come to the right side, we're gonna stay there. And this is where you're gonna turn your palm up and press, possibly bring your vision towards that hand. Feel how it changes when you press up with that hand. If it changes, right? Head back to neutral, hand down. Inhale up and move over to the left side. And again, once you're in place, you turn the hand up, bring your vision up if appropriate for you. Keep breathing. Hand down, head back to neutral. Inhale up. We're going to slide in your left knee. Just roll through those shoulders for a moment. Everybody's okay? All right. So from here, let's come down onto our bellies. So here we are, we're on our bellies. Your hands are going to be in line with your chest, and your face is towards your mat. And before we go any further, and you could relax your forehead on the ground, it all depends on your body, right? I want you to move side to side through your hips, right? Just moving through your pelvis and seeing how it feels to move through your pelvis here. And we're going to pause for a moment with the hips. Keep breathing. Now, keeping your hips pressing towards the floor, keeping your feet connected to the floor. On the inhale, we're going to lift the upper body. Take your hands off the floor and exhale, come down. And we're just going to do that for a few breaths. Inhale, upper body up, hands off the ground. Exhale, down to the ground. Head follows the position of the body. One more time. Inhale up, exhale down. Now we're going to work on the lower part of the body. You might take your hands in front and rest your forehead. Option here, especially if you have low back things going on, you might on the inhale bend your knees and flex your feet, take them up towards the sky, or you can lift both legs off the ground, okay? Inhale up, exhale down. So you're either lifting your legs with the legs straight or you're bending the knees. Inhale up, exhale down. I'm kind of alternating between the two so that you can see the difference. And height is not so important here as that disconnecting from the floor, right? So noticing, and of course, no discomfort in your body at all. Next time your feet come down, we're going to take the hands back in line with the chest. We're going to put the two together, okay? So you decide, okay? Inhale, legs and arms, upper body up, exhale down. Or you're bending the knees, right? You decide what works for your body. Inhale is up, exhale is down. Don't force it. Do what works for you. And next time you come to the ground, you'll take your hands onto the floor and turn your toes under. We're going to come into a child's pose. Actually, don't turn your toes under because we want them flat so you can come down to the ground. And you can keep your arms extended or wrap them around your legs. And if it feels better for your body to inhale up to tabletop and exhale down, you can do that. Or you can stay in your child's pose for a couple breaths. You decide what feels better for you. Now, when you're ready, you're going to shift your hips over to the side. We're going to make our way onto our back body. And what I want you to have close by is your rolled up mat, your extra mat. I'm going to give you a couple of options. So you're either going to take your rolled up mat, your butt's going to stay on the floor, and you're going to put that mat underneath your spine and your head and your legs in whatever position feels good. Or you're going to use your two blocks. And in this one, the base of your rib cage, the bottom of your rib cage goes at the bottom of the block, and your head goes on top of the block. So I will model for you, and some people like to do this and even put a blanket or a folded mat over the two blocks. If it's not comfortable, they're not in the right position, right? So base of the ribs, bottom of the head, comfortable place for your legs. You decide, don't force it. I'm gonna put my mask on and come look at y'all. Okay. All right, so your butt's on the ground, so you can relax. I'm gonna do this for you because I don't want you to hurt. Come back slowly. Nope, don't. Come back. Hurt. Huh? Oh yeah, it hurts or
No,
yeah, it feels good?
Yeah.
Okay. If it's in the right place. I'm just gonna fix this with your head, if that's okay. I want you to come up. Nope, come all the way up, press down with your arms. And lift yourself all the way up. Oh, that is there. Okay, come on. You're just so tall. Okay. All right, good. So wherever you are, you're gonna relax. Let your body be heavy. Make sure, check in with your legs. Is there a way that they could be more comfortable? Now from here, we're going to make our way into Shavasana. And Shavasana is our final relaxation. And so I want you to think about what would be the most comfortable position for you to be in while we do our Shavasana. So if you're on the blocks, you probably will want to come off of them at some point. If you're on blocks, you're going to press down with your hands, lift yourself straight up, bend forward if you feel like that would feel good in your body, and then choose a position for Shavasana. And Shavasana, we lay down and relax. It's a time to integrate mind, body, and spirit, what we've been doing. And so get yourself into a comfortable position. Do whatever your body needs to first. If you need to stretch or take a sip of water, put socks or a shirt on or something like that. And then get yourself comfortable.